Welcome back to the Happy House Hacking Podcast, the podcast designed to help young people navigate the path towards home ownership here in California. We are your hosts, Owen and Camille Schwaegerle, and we are realtors, investors, and happy house hackers. Today, we are here to give a mid-year update, check in about goals, see how you're tracking on all of your goals for the year, and share some fun client stories.
So it wasn't too long ago when we did an episode on goal setting and vision casting and what your ideal life looks like. And so Camille and our team, we had so much fun doing that earlier this year. And it's been in our closet. So we see it every day, every morning, every night. And we are constantly reminded of our goals. What is it that we want to achieve this year? What do we want to do? What do we want to become? And it's exciting. I can't believe it. We've already checked off some of those visions that were on the board.
I know. We've had some big goals achieved. So first, super exciting. We had our baby.
Yes.
So our second baby was born a few months ago, and she's doing so great. She's growing. She's healthy. She's so happy, finally smiling, all the good baby things. So that was on our vision board to transition to life with two babies, and 2 under 2 has been a challenge and a really beautiful gift. So
yeah,
we are making headway. So that's been a big thing. Check on the vision board. And also one of my other favorite goals we accomplished was getting a new car.
Yeah, that was cool. And it was a Volkswagen Atlas. We really wanted a white one. That's what Camille and I both put on our vision boards. And so this year we were, really focusing on, okay, Atlas. We want an Atlas. And we would see him go by. We're like, Atlas. And we were just seeing it. And so one day we went to the dealership and we were talking to them about buying a car. And the only Atlas they had was like a forest green one.
Yeah, it was such an ugly color, honestly, but it had all the bells and whistles that I wanted. So I seriously almost went for it. And, we had a little sidebar and Owen said, Camille, what is on your vision board? And I said, a white Volkswagen Atlas. And he said, and what color is this car? I said, it's a really ugly green. I just can't picture being in it. And so we walked away. And literally that night, I'm on Facebook Marketplace and a white Volkswagen Atlas hits Marketplace. It is half the price of the car we had just test drove a few hours earlier. And we went for it. We test drove that car the next day and bought it the following day.
Seriously. Yeah. So what you focus on,
it was amazing.
You attract it. What you focus on, you find it. And so we could have gone for that car at the dealership and it was nice. It was clean. It was all the cool things, but there was this thing that didn't feel right about it deep down.
Yeah. If I did move forward with that green car and I looked at my vision board and I see a white car and I see him driving around, I really would have been bummed.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I agree. So I'm so glad we did not buy it. And part of that is also good negotiating. You always have to have walkaway power.
True.
And they're like, what do we need to do to get the deal done today? And we're like, well,
bring the price down by 50%.
And they were not willing to go down as low as what we would want to pay.
Yeah.
And so we found a better deal direct from owner. It was awesome. And now we've achieved that on a vision board. We've achieved the having a baby. Now we have a family of 4. It's so precious, just snuggling with our little loved ones.
And something on our vision board was the word depth. And so sometimes what I like to do is I write down words that I want to, manifest for the year. And depth was a big one for us. We said less is more 2024. So we haven't traveled literally anywhere at all, partly because we have our new baby, but also because we just really want to focus on growing deeper roots. And we have a trip planned at the end of the year that's on our vision board. So that'll be fun to accomplish that at the end of the year. But otherwise, as far as depth goes, I feel like it's been so good and healthy and rhythmed for us. And it's been able to open the doors for more opportunities for our clients as well. And us being able to be here more often has been given our clients the opportunity to really dig deep and achieve their real estate goals, which has been fun for us to navigate together.
Totally. One other thing that was on the vision board, I had a picture of some people in an office, happy, smiling, making calls. And I wanted to grow our real estate team and business and provide better value to our clients. And we actually brought on a full-time inside sales agent. And so we have someone on our team making calls every single week, 40 hours a week. And so that type of leverage gives us the ability to serve our clients more, be in the field more.
Yes.
And we're still prospecting for off-market listings, for deals for our clients, and we're still helping serve more people by making those calls through the inside sales agent on our team.
You're right. That was another big one. Yeah. So it's been awesome. And so I really want to encourage you, as we're about halfway through the year. Where are you at with your goals for 2024? And it's okay if you're feeling a little bit behind. Let's wake up tomorrow and hit the ground running and really grind. Now is also a good opportunity to adjust your goals. So let's say you had a financial savings goal and you wanted to reach, I don't know, $10,000 towards your down payment fund, and you're lagging a little bit behind. Well, maybe 8,000 is more realistic. So let's pivot and adjust and still stay on track rather than completely kibosh the whole goal. Let's just adjust, and that way you'll still have that sense of gratification towards the end of the year.
Yeah, we had to do that last year. Just the whole real estate market really shifted and was a lot slower. So we wanted to help 44 families last year, and mid-year we were not going to be hitting that goal this year. We had to pivot and we adjusted, and we still hit our goal. We ended up helping 36 families. So it was still great. It was below that goal, but we were able to adjust and pivot and then hit the newly adjusted goal.
Yeah. So that's our encouragement to you as you're looking at what your goals have been. So yeah, and I'm excited too, because we have a lot of fun client stories to share. There has been some movement in this market, and it takes those clients who are persistent, diligent, and committed to their goal to actually see it through. And I am so happy for them that they get to check off on their vision board the goal of home ownership.
Yes. Yeah. I know. It's so exciting being the Happy House Hacking podcast. We're trying to encourage and motivate more young people in getting into homeownership. And so with the cost of homeownership rising in California, the house hacking strategy is the way to go. It is the best strategy out there. So one of our recent clients we're so excited for, they got a property under contract that was actually 4 units. Instead of just one, they're going for a full-on 4-unit. So they still qualify for the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac loans, which are great because you get lower interest rates. You could do lower down if you wanted, and they're benefiting from that homeowners insurance being at a discounted rate. So they're doing everything that we've been talking about. And they listen to our podcast, they follow us. And so they've been implementing all of the strategies and things that we've been sharing. So
yeah, and I will say one key component, no matter where you're listening to, we've talked a lot about who you work with matters. And there's such a difference between being a full-time real estate professional versus part-time. And when you're full-time, you're really able to better serve your clients because you're in it so much. And in this particular transaction, I actually came across it while it was still coming soon. And coming soon listings are kind of like a pre-listing before it hits the market, active on Zillow, Redfin, yada, yada, yada. So if you are partnered with a real estate agent in your area, ask them about coming soon listings or any off-market deals they have and have knowledge about. Because for our client, we ended up writing an offer while it was still coming soon before we had seen it. So that way, by the time we went to go see the property, we were already 100% in. We had already written an offer. We're like, yep, this is it. This is the one. So it showed the seller just how serious we were because we had gone in knowing we're buying this place.
And we've kept our eye on the market for a long time. So we can tell a good deal when we see one. That's the benefit of shopping and being in the market is, oh, okay, that's a bad deal. Or, okay, that's just fair market. Oh, when we saw this, we're like, whoa, that's a really well-priced fourplex. Like,
Yep.
I haven't seen anything at that price per door in a long time, like several years. Like, wow, did they not like see what things are trading for? Like, okay, this is a deal. We got to swoop on this thing.
Yeah. And the benefit too is having those conversations with your client and being honest and say, look, I've been doing this for X amount of years. I haven't seen anything like this in quite some time. And it's on the open market at this
Yeah.
point too.
Yeah.
So many people think, oh, well, if it's an on market listing, it's not a good deal. And that's false. That's a misconception because you can absolutely find great deals that are listed on the
Definitely.
market. So we went for it. We went all in. We competed with 5 other offers. We really went above and beyond, and our client is coming out on top. And one thing to note too is in California, you will not cash flow immediately. We talked about that on another episode. You will not cash flow immediately, especially with today's interest rates. So it is a long-term play, especially if you're house hacking like this client will be. You live in one, you rent out the others, and over time, you start raising rents. Maybe someone ends up moving out. They found a bigger space. Then you go in and you relist that unit for rent. So your mortgage is fixed, but your rents aren't. And that's what's so amazing is that wealth building potential when you go in and you actually work on the property and make it happen.
Now, you said there were 5 offers. So how did you get the offer accepted? I mean, there's so many people.
Well, we were the first offer because we wrote before it was officially on the market. We were very persistent. I made sure that I was in touch with the listing agent pretty much every day, texting, calling. I met her in person. I did everything I could to show my face that I was, 1, a legitimate full-time agent, and 2, that I had a client who was ready, willing, and able to purchase this. I had the lender call, a few different things like that to help seal the deal. But really, it came down to price, and we were the highest price, and money talks. So the seller wanted a certain amount, and we said, okay, we'll go for it. And so we raised our price as much as we could. We had a quick closing. We were able to speed up our closing working with the lender. And I will say, too, that our client is pretty exceptional. She is very organized, very detailed, very diligent. So that also helps, is having a good working relationship. So she's one of a kind, that's for sure. And I want to make sure that I make it clear that it's a two-way road, right? It takes 2 to tango. And it was definitely a partnership together. It wasn't just one or the other. It was a partnership. So wherever you're listening, please be in partnership with your agent because that will help seal the deal.
Now, were there things that just fell into place on this transaction compared to other transactions?
Oh my gosh. Actually, yeah, everything on this one really fell into place. I will say, too, that there's so much value in having those honest conversations with your agent to know what your needs are, and that way it can get communicated to the other side. So writing a request for repairs was really important and imperative that we did that. So being able to negotiate that second time in that contingency window in order to make a win-win, that was key. And that was a critical component of this transaction. Even down to, things still being under warranty on the property that our client gets to benefit from. And just the way in which everything fell together worked out so well. It was very meant to be heartfelt transaction. And at the end of the day, though, it is going to take some work, and it takes a brave buyer to be able to take on a multifamily house hack. And it comes down to just educating yourself. And that's what I have to give props to our client for, is taking the initiative to be educated and go in confident. So anyone can do it. Literally anyone can do it. You just have to be brave enough and just say, yes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to say yes to the unknown, because everyone starts out not knowing. It just takes time. You learn by doing.
So true. Another one of our client success stories is a client who is also a listener of our podcast, and they listened to every episode and they were like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I needed this. And it helped exponentially move them forward in the process. So by listening to this podcast, by getting education and resources on what are the steps, how do I navigate home ownership? Like, what do I even do? He was able to massively accelerate his progress towards home ownership. And so by the time we met and started actually going through the process, he was informed. He knew what to expect. And then by the time we had met and set up tours, we were outgoing showing properties within the first 2-3 weeks of our consultation. And then we saw different properties. He got a feel for the market, knew what a good deal was when he saw one. And we found a property that was actually 3-bed, 2-bath. below $500,000 in SLO County, which is very rare. And so he had been in tune with us in the market, and he had been seeing what other things had gone for. We had shopped around. He could tell, oh my gosh, this is a good deal. I can't believe it. We just saw a 2-bedroom for $525. Like, how does this make any sense? Like, this is a really good deal. So being informed on the process is so crucial, so key. And so we also saw that this property had been lingering on the market for a couple of weeks. It was like 1.5 months on the market, which is way longer than average. So we knew they'd be a little bit more motivated, and we were able to get it under contract $10,000 below the asking price, which is a huge win. And then our client, we did our inspections, did our due diligence, and
found some health and safety concerns.
Found some big issues, big ticket items. And so we went back and asked for some closing cost credits and a price reduction. And we negotiated, went back and forth, and we ended up getting our client an additional $8,000 in closing cost credits. And
yeah,
so
that was a big win.
That doesn't happen all the time. So $10,000 off price, $8,000 off closing costs. Now, the coolest part about this is he's going to be renting out the rooms. So he's house hacking. It's called border income when you rent out rooms. So he's got the income there to help him qualify. And his employer has a down payment assistance program where they will match up to a certain dollar amount on your first home purchase.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So it can be done. There is a way to do it. If you don't have the funds, maybe you get gift funds. If you don't have the income, maybe you get a family member to sign off on the loan, help you get the loan. There are so many ways to go about this. You know, do the border income, rent out rooms in a property. You just have to be creative. You have to be educated and have the right team in place guiding you through to get you to that home ownership.
Yeah, one of the things that I love about that one client is he really did a great job of knowing the market. And it's so important to spend time in the market so that way you feel so educated when it comes to writing an offer that you're like, yep, this is the one for me. Yep, this makes sense. And you have that peace knowing you put your best foot forward when you wrote your offer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so those are 2 recent wins. There are so many more wins of other clients who we're working with right now, selling property, buying property, and it is a good time to be in the market. And I believe 5 years from now, when we all look back, we're all going to be saying, wow, I wish I bought real estate back in 2024. I can't believe that prices are now $1 million on average across the whole state of California.
Oh yeah.
We're almost there. It's
Yep.
like 800,000 is the average price for a home in California. It's just a few more years before everything on average will be about $1 million.
Yep. Yep. And we're seeing too clients ask us about buying down rates. And that's something you're going to want to navigate with your lender to really know the nitty gritty of how much a rate is going to cost you and at what price it's going to reduce your mortgage. So if you think that you're going to be refinancing within a short amount of time, buying a rate may not be worth it. Those points might not have that dollar amount match. So really talk through it. But that's been something that's been coming up quite a bit with our clients lately is, should I buy down my rate? I don't know. Is it worth it or not? And just do the math. Most of the time, it's not worth it if you plan to refinance within a short window of time. If you never plan on refinancing, okay, that's a different story.
Right. And we did have a lender on recently who shared about this program called the 2-1 buy down program.
That is good.
The amazing thing about the 2-1 buy down program is, let's say it was, $10,000 to buy the rate down. Well, if you do a standard refi, that $10,000 is gone. Whereas if you do the 2-1 buy down program, that $10,000 that was already paid gets credited towards your equity in the loan. So essentially, you don't lose that money using the 2-1 buy down program. And if you're planning, I'm going to refi in the next 2 years, it can work out to be great savings for a buyer.
Yep. Well, we are so excited for all of the clients that we're working with, and we want you to be excited about your dreams and goals too. So feel free to reach out to us. We're pretty accessible. If you ever have questions about setting your house hacking strategy into motion, about setting goals, we're here for you. And we encourage you to connect with your peers, with your family members, with your spouse, with your significant other to journey through vision casting and actually setting a plan in place to make a goal. So we're halfway through the year and we hope that you are on track to reach your goals for this year. Thanks for tuning in.